Welcome everyone to this video. So this video is all about Cortex AI feature, and that feature is parse document. In this video, I'm going to explain about how powerful this particular function is, right? So if you see this slide, again, this has been taken from Snowflake documentation. So parse document actually offers two different modes whenever we are processing any unstructured data. So think of it like your parse document is nothing but whenever we want to process any unstructured data within a Snowflake, and those unstructured data, obviously comes in various forms and format. So that is exactly where parse document comes into picture, right? And there are two powerful modes over here. One is OCR mode and another one is your layout mode. So OCR mode is obviously recommended for quick high quality text extraction, and your layout mode is essentially optimized, wherein we have a document, but within the document you have details which is more represented in a tabular form. So in this video I will walk you through one aspect of parse document, which is like OCR mode, right? I mean, we will see a think of it like we will kind of have a PDF file which will have a lot of text within it, but we will process it within Snowflake, and also we will try to generate essential insights and all using parse document, which rolls up to Cortex AI umbrella, right? Now I'll quickly give you what document over here am I talking about. If you see this document, it kind of gives the details about the ultimate downhill bike, okay? And obviously it has got essence of downhill biking. Now think of it like this is a document wherein it will give us complete details of if I am going to kind of take part in a sport wherein there is a lot of racing happening using a bike, but it has got all kind of steep roads, rugged terrain. We can kind of go at high speed, low speed, and if you want to purchase those kind of bikes so that you can participate in the racing competition, there are a lot of things which you have to take care of. You have to understand all the bike components of it, how the bike will be maintained, what all are the safety instructions. There will be a big manual for kind of you to scan and then kind of take some decisions around it, right? And these all of these are put in this document, right? But again, it is an unstructured file, and obviously it has not been loaded into Snowflake. So a use case would be if I get this kind of document, is there a way in which I can maybe process this document, convert the unstructured to maybe a form of a semi-structured document, index certain key aspect of this document, and extract all the essential parameters, like how do I just get the metrics around understanding downhill bike components, what all would be the details which I should take care of with respect to getting the safety instructions, so on and so forth, right? So now that we understand the use case, let us see how we can do that all natively within Snowflake using Cortex AI using parse document. Okay, so let us go into the Snowflake console over here, folks. So what we will do is to kind of go into kind of that particular mode. First is we will have to ensure that the file gets loaded into the database. Okay, now over here we should note that whenever we want to load any of those kind of unstructured data within the kind of Snowflake, so what we should do is obviously those files will go into a internal stage. Okay, now this was the internal stage that I created, okay, and this is the document which I have loaded. Now if I show the demo, so you can create, I mean internal and external stage, obviously both are supported. Let's say you will be creating a think of it like, let's say, a stage, okay, Snowflake manage stage. So key things to note over here is, let's say, demo stag, right? And directory table we will have to enable, and server side encryption is a mandate. Okay, so we'll have to click on server side encryption to kind of do this take this particular file into the your Snowflake as an ecosystem, right? So let's say demo internal stage. Okay, so once you create the internal stage over here, server side encryption is clicked as you have obviously clicked it. What you do is you create an internal stage. Okay, now once your internal stage is created, what you can do is you can easily add the files, whatever I mean, obviously it can have a lot of files, right? So whatever files we want to process, we can add it, right? Now over here, if you see this, one file will start popping up, which was ultimate downhill bike PDF. Okay, so this was the file, this is the internal stage. Now think of it like I have done my first stage. How easily I was able to load the file which is present externally in Snowflake, and the unstructured data is now all natively present within my Snowflake environment. Okay, now what we will do is, obviously it is present in the unstructured format. Okay, now this was my internal stage that I already created, but I'll walk you through the step-by-step guide of how this demo can be done. Okay, so what we do is, obviously list is a command through which we can see what all are the files present. So you see this is the file which is present. Okay, then what we do is, this is where the parse document functions comes into picture. Okay, now what is this all about? Now when we use this parse document as a function, Cortex function, so your unstructured kind of file which is present, and over here, as I told you, this is the syntax. I will use the mode as OCR. Okay, now when I will fire this command, you see what will be the output. Okay, now if you see this, we got a complete text as an output. Okay, now this parse document as a function was able to read that entire file and gave you all the necessary details, but in text form, and obviously it has new line characters and things like that, right? So this details we have, right? And it is a 4-pager document, it has mined it, and everything it has given us. So that's the power of OCR as a function, right? But over here, obviously this is step 2, all good. But over here, think of it like, this is looking more like a wordy, right? I mean, it's kind of a paragraph wise statement. It is not giving me modules of information. Okay, when I say modules, it is not able to split this entire kind of text into subtext, I would say, right? So how do we do that, right? And that is exactly where we will kind of get into another function. Okay, so let us see what that function is. But before that, these are certain things which we should do, so that at least all the details is captured in form of a table. Okay, now over here, this is the relative path, size, file URL, and this is the extracted layout which we just now saw. Okay, and then what I will do is, we will be loading that particular output into a table. Okay, and that table will be raw text. Okay, so what we did was, we extracted all the necessary information from the PDF file, post loading it using parse document OCR layout, and now all the information is there, now natively present within Snowflake, and that too in a form of a table which has all the metadata information along with the extracted data. Okay, all the textual data. Okay, but what I was telling is, we want to go a little bit further. Okay, further means I have to ensure that I get the relevant information in form of subset of this particular text. So over here, we will have to kind of also accustom ourselves with a concept called as chunking. So chunking is something, think of it like, you give a complete context to our Cortex function, it will chunk the information essentially based on key aspect that we get within that entire text. Okay, and we'll see how it works within Snowflake, right? So for that, we will create a table, obviously chunks table, and then what we do is, this is a very key kind of SQL. If you see this, raw text was my table in which I have that entire paragraph of data, and then I'm lateral flattening it. Okay, and then I use this parameter, function, same Cortex function, split text recursive character. Okay, so what it will do is, it will split the text based on how I want to give the inputs. Okay, now what it will do is, it will split the text, and how it does it, let us see. Okay, the output. Okay, so we were getting one paragraph as an input, if you recall, right? And let us see how many kind of line items we get using this split text recursive character. Okay, so this is the same path, same file. Okay, now it has broken down into multiple chunks of the data. Okay, your break maintenance, emergency, budgets, all these details right now you see. Okay, and then what we also see is all the chunk index, but everywhere now we see kind of a details of key information that has been captured from the PDF file. Okay, now this is how the power of split text recursive character works whenever you use that in conjunction with your parse document. Okay, now key thing over here is, what is this 1512 and 256? People might ask, what is this 152, 1512 and 256? So this also we should know. So 1512 is nothing but these are text into chunks of 1500 characters with an overlap of 256 characters. So what does that mean? Each chunk that we get over here, it has got a value of maybe at least 1512 characters, and the repetition or the probability of repetition of those characters in the subsequent line item is around 256. Okay, now if we reduce it, so over here if you see this, the line items are 1 2 3 total 7, right? Now if I want to reduce the chunk or size to maybe 500 and maybe think of it like something like maybe 10, so I am expecting more line items over here, because obviously the first output length I am decreasing, right? So instead of 7 I should get more line items, more chunks of the data, right? You see rows are 18, and that's how it has been split, okay, with respect to the chunks. And everywhere you get more kind of information with respect to what that document carries, and each chunk, if we get it, obviously, right, I mean we will be able to at least get the key information about what this particular PDF document has, right, within Snowflake. Now what we did was over here, folks, so what we did was we processed the PDF file within Snowflake. We used the parsed document as an OCR kind of format. Then what we did was we even used the function which is called as split text recursive character, and then we converted the entire data, right? We flattened it into semi-structured form. Now imagine lot of use cases that can be unlocked using this. So incrementally what we can do is we can use this data set, load it into a table, and enable a Cortex search service on top of it, and start asking natural language questions on this chunked data, right? And that is where we will start getting all the kind of answers from the document, right? What all are the parameters I should see with respect to at least buying this kind of a bike? What all are the methods which I should follow so that I can kind of maintain my bike properly? All those things now you can easily get by asking all the natural language questions, rather than going through parsing the entire maybe at least 5-6 pager of the PDF file. You ask your questions naturally in Snowflake, and then you start getting the answers. So that's the power of parse document, which can help unlock lot of potential use cases and obviously solve them. So quickly, on the presentation side, if we see now, if we go through this one, so this is exactly what we have demonstrated, or rather I have demonstrated. So from stage we extracted the data using parse document, and we have used split underscore text underscore recursive character to chunk the extracted data and load it into the table, right? And on top of that, what can be done also I have explained, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, folks. And if you like this video, please feel free to like my video, subscribe to my channel, so that it will help encourage uploading more such videos around this tech stack. So thank you so much once again.